Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So in today's video, of course, I want to give you guys an update of what is exactly happening with Bitcoin and crypto this morning. And of course, I want to show you guys a fair few charts, and specifically, I want to talk about someone actually really bullish with Bitcoin, okay, in the next few years. And she is saying that we will actually see Bitcoin pump all the way up to $1.5 million per Bitcoin. Let me repeat that, okay? She is saying that we will potentially be seeing Bitcoin in the next few years, potentially by 2030, okay? That we will in fact see a $1.5 million, okay? $1.5 million Bitcoin, right? So that's going to be absolutely insane. That's exactly one of what I want to talk about for today's video. So go down below right now, guys, give this video a quick little thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet already. I really would appreciate that. And on that, guys, let's go ahead and begin with today's video. So you guys can clearly see Bitcoin today is still, it's holding strong at pretty much $30,000, just holding at $30,000. You guys can clearly see that. So Bitcoin has been all over the place. We actually have in fact been seeing Bitcoin, especially yesterday. We did actually see Bitcoin drop to about $29,700, right? So we actually saw Bitcoin, break support of 30K. Right now, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is sort of starting to, pump back up to that $30,000 range. Okay, still trying to hold strong at 30K, and it still is, in my opinion. So Bitcoin is still not really moving. You guys clearly see that, still consolidating, which is great. It gives us it gives us time, okay, especially the retail investors like you and me, to buy more Bitcoin, right, at this level, okay. And you guys clearly see the global crypto market cap today has actually gone up slightly in the market overall. Okay, it's actually pumping, right? But Bitcoin, okay, it's not really pumping. Okay, you guys can clearly see that 0.50%. Ethereum is not even moving as well. But you guys can clearly see other altcoins like XRP today, right, up 8%, and it's currently at 82 cents. So XRP today is in fact moving more. Okay, we know what happened a few days ago. Ripple has obviously, won this case, this lawsuit with the SEC, and that's why we have in fact been seeing XRP pump. You guys clearly see for the past 7 days for XRP, it's up 76%. So that's absolutely, amazing to see for XRP. So yes, XRP is continuing to slightly pump today, which is great to see, up 8%. And you guys can clearly see other altcoins like Cardano today, 6%, Solana 5%, Dogecoin 2%, right? Polygon 1%, same with Litecoin, okay, and Polkadot. Avalanche 2%. You guys see what else is there? Stellar XLM 23% today. Okay, so XLM is absolutely pumping today, 23%. Great to see. Chainlink 0.62%. So not much movements there. So you guys can clearly see that a fair few altcoins aren't actually, they are in fact pumping, this morning for today. So that's, absolutely amazing to see. Actually, you guys can see HBot as well, 10%. Great to see, you know what I mean? So yes, guys, a fair few altcoins are in fact actually moving today, okay, on their own, whereas Bitcoin is not really moving. Same with Ethereum, okay, but other altcoins are in fact, slightly moving for the past 24 hours, which is great to see. And overall, the markets are 0.92%, right? So fair few movements today, but nothing too crazy. Now let's move on to these charts. And let's talk about that topic of Bitcoin reaching 1.5 mil, right? So let's talk about these charts first. So we know Bitcoin has in fact been, consolidating at this level of pretty much $30,000. And soon enough, okay, we could actually see potentially Bitcoin pump all the way up over $50,000 towards the end of this year. You guys can clearly see maybe in November or even December, towards, the end of the year in 2023 this year. We could actually see that happen for Bitcoin. And if you guys have in fact been, watching my videos, I've been telling you guys many times that personally, my personal price prediction for Bitcoin, for this year alone in 2023 is around $50,000. And this is exactly where this chart is indicating, right? So, and I'm still sticking with it. You know what I mean? I really do see Bitcoin reaching at least $50,000 or even over $50,000 towards, the end of this year in 2023, right? So yes, personally, my price prediction for Bitcoin this year alone in 2023 is around $50,000 or over $50,000. I think that is a very realistic price target for Bitcoin to hit in the next few months. Now, moving on to this chart, you guys can clearly see this indicator has turned green for the third time since 2016, right? So you guys can clearly see in 2016, this is called the STMA, and it clearly turns green right here. And when it turns green, it pretty much means we're going to have a parabolic movement. You guys can clearly see that. And that's exactly what we saw in 2017. You guys can clearly see Bitcoin shot up all the way up to around like $19,000, close to 20K, which is absolutely amazing to see, right? And then we also had one in 2019, right? You guys can clearly see that. And then, of course, 2020 slowly recovered. And, of course, 2021, that's when things really kicked off, okay? And now in 2022, we saw Bitcoin drop, okay? And now you guys can see the STMA turns green once again. It's starting to turn green, which means, guys, does this mean it's all up for Bitcoin, right? Because every single time it seems like this turns green, Bitcoin tends to always pump up, okay? It seems like it's going to have another parabolic movement up to the upside. You guys can clearly see it is, in fact, turning green right now. So throughout Bitcoin history, right, every single time this has turned green, Bitcoin does, in fact, have a parabolic movement. And this is why I've been telling you guys, right? It's all up from here. We know Bitcoin hit a bottom of $15,000 last November. And we saw Bitcoin pretty much hovering at 16K from November to December, right? And then pretty much at the beginning of this year in 2023, you know, the New Year's in January, early of January, we saw Bitcoin absolutely pumping. So yes, so far, 2023, we have in fact been seeing Bitcoin slowly recover. This is just flipping up to the, you know, green side right now. You guys can clearly see that. So it looks like Bitcoin is ready to really have a parabolic movement up to the upside. Okay, we know the Bitcoin halving is about to happen, and we know what happens, right? That's where Bitcoin tends to pump the most. So right now, Bitcoin is in fact having this crossover right now with this market structure. And I've talked about this crossover a fair bit, and you guys can clearly see it is in fact forming right now. So it seems like, right, Bitcoin is in fact about to pump. The matter of question is, the real question here is when, right? And I think it's going to happen very, very soon. You know, I've been telling you guys many times, you know, 50K for Bitcoin towards the end of this year in 2023 is very, very possible. So I really do believe soon, okay, we're going to see some parabolic movements up for Bitcoin. And, you know, since Bitcoin is in fact hovering at $30,000 right now, okay, stuck at this level, I really do believe right now is the perfect time to buy Bitcoin. And if you guys haven't seen yesterday's video, I actually showed you guys a fair few charts where the buy signal is, where the buy zone is for Bitcoin. And the buy zone is right now at this very moment, right? So this is obviously a great time right now to buy into Bitcoin, okay, especially for long term. We know Bitcoin is a great investment for long term. I've been telling you that many times. So right now is the perfect time, okay, to get into Bitcoin or to stack more Bitcoin or to, you know, just stack as much Bitcoin as you possibly can. Okay, so don't miss this opportunity because Bitcoin in the next few months, guys, you guys have to understand it will continue to pump. We're going to see Bitcoin pump to 35K to 40K to 45 to 50 to over 50K, you know, in the next few months. So don't miss this opportunity on buying Bitcoin at $30,000, especially if Bitcoin's not really moving. I told you guys this is actually really important, okay, because days like this where Bitcoin is still, you know, moving on a sideways, right, and it's consolidating, this is actually a very, very important time to stack as much Bitcoin as you possibly can, right? So don't miss this opportunity, guys, okay? And now you guys can clearly see, we could actually see Bitcoin, okay? This is where we are right now, all the way down here. And right now we could actually see Bitcoin break this resistance line, pump all the way up to around $32,000 and continue to rise and have another leg up, right? So we will see, okay, a borderline wedge top. It could potentially happen for Bitcoin. It looks pretty good for Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin were to drop further down, okay, yeah, you know, $28,000 possible, $27,000. I told you guys that in yesterday's video is very, very possible. And this is where it is right now, okay? You guys can clearly see this blue line, $27,500. That will potentially be its lowest. And then it'll just bounce back up to 30K and it'll just continue on from there, right? But we will see if Bitcoin actually does break down to these levels of $28,000 and of course $27,000. I will obviously keep you guys updated, but personally, I think it's all us from here. Okay, I think we're gonna see Bitcoin break this resistance line, just continue to pump. I could be wrong. We could actually have another massive retest back down to the downside. It's possible. Okay, it's not impossible. So time will tell. We will see. But personally, I think it's all gonna be us from here, right? So that's that. Now, Bitcoin is in fact having this little crossover right now. Okay, you guys clearly see that it seems like it's all off from here, right? It's starting to form another green line. Okay, just similar to the one that I showed you guys right here. Here we go, this one right here. Okay, so it seems like it's all up from here. And you guys can clearly see every single time we hit a bottom, Bitcoin always tends to reach a new high, right? So back in 2014, 2015, right, we saw Bitcoin pump, and then it had a little drop, and then it pumped again in 2017, and then it dropped again, and then obviously in 2019 and 2020, it slowly recovered, right? Which is what we're seeing right now in 2023, and then of course, towards the end of 2020, and of course, early 2021 and all of 2021, we saw Bitcoin pump, right? And then it dropped again, okay, and of course it hit bottom, and you guys clearly see it has to form another green arrow, which means it's going to, right, be up. So it seems like it's all going to be up from here, guys. Okay, so be excited for that, guys. Now, the last chart that I want to show you guys is this. I love this chart. So shout out to, Stock Money Lizards for this chart. But it just shows you guys that, the halving is about to happen. And we know every single time we have the, Bitcoin halving event, that is where Bitcoin really tends to pump the most. Now, we know once the halving actually happens for Bitcoin is not going to pump straight away. You know what I mean? You got to give it a few weeks time, a few months time, even for it to pump. Okay, so it's not going to pump straight away. Okay, that's what I want you guys to understand. Okay, so that's why I've been saying, towards the end of 2024, okay, in the early stages of 2025, right, the early months, so January and whatnot, that's why we're going to see Bitcoin really pump. All of 2025, we should be seeing Bitcoin pump and having a great movement up to the upside, right? That's when the real parabolic movements will happen, okay, especially in 2025. So yes, guys, the halving is right around the corner. Okay, it's going to happen around April. In April, in 2024, obviously, so next year, literally, less than a year from now. So be excited for that, right? And this is where we are right now. Seems like Bitcoin's going to slowly continue up to the upside, like I said, for 2023. Okay, it's very, very possible. And then we're going to have the halving, and then that's when we're going to see Bitcoin really pump. Okay, and of course, it's going to easily reach back up to its all-time highs, its previous all-time highs, which was 69K. It's going to reach on your all-time high, and it's going to continue from there. And I've been telling you guys this many times, I've been mentioning this many times, that yes, I do in fact see Bitcoin reaching at least 200K to even 250 to maybe even 300K in the next bull market, right, for the year 2025. I think that is very, very possible for Bitcoin. Let me know in the comments below what do you guys think about that. Now, let me know in the comments down below what do you guys think about this, right? So let's get into it. The main topic for today's video, Cathie Wood. We know how bullish Cathie Wood is with Bitcoin, right? We know how bullish she is with Bitcoin. She has been in many interviews talking about Bitcoin and whatnot. Okay, and recently she was in fact in a interview, I believe with Bloomberg, I think that's what it's called, and she was saying that, we will potentially be seeing a $1.5 million Bitcoin by the year, I think 2030, right? Less than 10 years from now. Just think about that, guys, which is absolutely insane. Now, Cathie Wood in the past has in fact been saying that by the year 2030, we will see a $1 million Bitcoin. But it seems like to me, she has stepped it up and has said that it will go higher than $1 million. It will go to $1.5 million per Bitcoin. Okay, before she said just 1 million, now she's saying 1.5 million, right? So this is absolutely insane, guys. And I actually have a clip to show you guys. Okay, this is actually the interview from Cathie Wood. And she's saying here that the bull case for Bitcoin is 1.5 mil per coin, and our confidence has actually increased. Okay, so Bitcoin, yes, it's decentralized, it's transparent, right? So that's that, guys. Okay, so I just want you guys to watch this clip. Okay, Wait, let me turn that off for you guys.
We went to a bear base and bull case. So our bull case is, I think it's 1.5 million. The base case uh, is 600, I think it's 625,000, something like that. Now, one reason we've actually internally, our confidence has increased towards the bull case
Mm-hmm.
is because of what happened during the regional bank crisis in March. What happened? Bitcoin, so as regional banks are going bankrupt and the stocks are imploding across the board for the KRE, Bitcoin rallied from 19,000 to 30,000. Why did that happen? That was a flight to safety. That is the insurance policy that we are talking about that we believe everyone will want at the end of the day. Insurance policy against two things: confiscation of wealth, either directly or by inflation, or in the deflation world, what is it a hedge against?
Right.
It's a hedge against counterparty risk. We won't have an 0809 with Bitcoin. Everything is decentralized and transparent.
There
No
you guys have it.
obfuscation.
There you guys have from Kathy Wood herself. So she's very bullish with Bitcoin, right? And we know, guys, right, in the past, like she has said, right, the banking crisis, we have seen banks, a fair few banks, major banks as well in the past, absolutely collapsing, gone bankrupt, right? Freezing people's money and whatnot. That has happened many, many times. And of course, people are in fact, wondering where should I put their money in, right? To have a safe haven from all of this, you know what I mean? And of course, to stay away from inflation and whatnot, they're putting it into Bitcoin. And that's why, like she said, in March, we saw Bitcoin pump. And just March alone, right, we had a 23%, return just for that month, which is absolutely insane, right? Who remembers that was literally a couple months ago? You know what I mean? We saw a fair few banks collapsing and we actually saw Bitcoin pumping, right? So obviously people were in fact putting their money into Bitcoin, and these banking crises will increase. So meaning, right, personally, I think more banks will, shut down, go bankrupt and whatnot, freeze people's money. Okay. So that's why, guys, you should put your money into something like Bitcoin because it's a safe haven from all of that, right? Bitcoin, in my opinion, is obviously a hedge against inflation long term, right? Bitcoin has been performing absolutely amazing, throughout the years. For the past 10 years, Bitcoin is the number one investment. Okay, it's the number one asset that has performed very, very well. Like, name another asset other than Bitcoin that has performed very well from, 10 years from now, from 2013 to 2023, where we are right now, right? Name another asset that has performed way better than Bitcoin, right? So just think about that, guys. You know what I mean? So imagine where Bitcoin will be, at least a decade from now. It will be over 1 mil. So yes, Kathy Wood herself is saying 1.5 mil per Bitcoin is very, very possible in the future. And I think she's saying, in the year 2030 or, just over the year 2030, right? But soon, okay, I really do believe, in less than 10 years, this could actually be very, very possible. Okay, either way, okay, we will easily see a $1 million Bitcoin less than a decade from now, right? So less than 10 years from now, personally, I do in fact see a $1 million Bitcoin, 100%. I've been telling you this many times, right? And this is why, guys, I've been begging you guys and telling you guys to accumulate at least one full Bitcoin, because this one full Bitcoin will potentially, right, make you a millionaire. You will have some type of wealth in the future, right? Long term, obviously. And of course, you'll have some type of freedom, right? So this is why, guys, I've been begging you guys to accumulate at least one full Bitcoin, okay? Because yes, today it's really hard to accumulate one full Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is going for around 30K right now. That's like buying a brand new car. I understand that, right? But imagine, guys, you make an investment of $30,000 and you just hold that investment for the next less than 10 years and you'll be a millionaire, right? Just think about that. You know what I mean? Name another asset that, you can just invest, $30,000 into in like less than 10 years time, it'll make you a millionaire, right? Just think about that, right? Name another asset that you think can do that, right? There's none, okay? But Bitcoin, right? So just think about that, guys, okay? And I want you guys to hear me loud and clear. This is not financial advice. So please always do your own research, right? Always do your own research, guys, right? So this is very possible. What Kathy Wood is saying here, especially in this interview with Bloomberg, is very, very possible. Okay, we will potentially see a $1 million Bitcoin, and of course $1.5 million Bitcoin very, very soon, in less than 10 years from now, potentially the year 2030, which is not long. That is literally less than 7 years from now, right? So just think about that. Okay, so Bitcoin will skyrocket to $1.5 million per Bitcoin very, very soon, less than 10 years from now, guys. So just think about that, right? Just think about that. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video on that note. So like I said, let me know in the comments down below if you think this is all BS, if Kathy Wood is crazy. Personally, I don't think she's crazy. I agree with her, right? $1 million Bitcoin is very, very possible. 1.5, okay, yeah, it is possible, but we will see, guys. Okay, but I know for a fact 100% by the year 2030, we could actually potentially see a $1 million Bitcoin. Okay, that's just personal my opinion. And she's saying 1.5 mil. So she's stepping it up, right? Because before she was saying we're going to see a $1 million Bitcoin. Now she's saying 1.5 million, right? So she's stepping it up for sure, right? So that's that. Let me know in the comments below what do you guys think about all this. I'm very bullish with Bitcoin, and I do believe this is easily going to happen for Bitcoin in the future. That's my personal perspective, and you guys can probably most likely agree with me on that one, and with Kathy Wood. But other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a blessed day, guys.